Hello lads, and welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today I am bringing you a special deck profile. One of my favorite decks of all time is Metaphys, and I've been working on it for a little while now, and I think it's time to finally show it off. So this is my updated, competitive Metaphys deck profile. Let's go ahead and dive right in. First up is going to be triple copies of Metaphys Ragnarok. Metaphys Ragnarok is your Bay. He is your best friend. He does everything you want. He banishes the top 3 cards of your deck and gains 300 attack points for each Metaphys card banished. Metaphys cards like working out of the banish pile. So, with that extra 300 point boost for each one, it can be really important because it is a permanent gain. And then, when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon a level 5 or higher Metaphys monster from your deck, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn, and you can only use each effect of Metaphys Ragnarok once per turn. Okay, so Ragnarok starts off everything. He is one of the most important cards in your deck, and he's a tuner, which actually comes up with some later cards, especially Metaphase Horus, which can be really unfair. So that's Metaphys Ragnarok. Next up is triple copies of Metaphys Metaphys. So, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys monster, it banishes all set spell and trap cards on the field. Get its background decks. The reason why you want to run 3 of this one, though, is because when it is banished, while it is banished during the standby phase of the next turn, you get to shuffle this banished card back into the deck and add a Metaphys card from your deck to your hand, except Metaphys Metaphys. So, Metaphys is important. It is really important in the sense that the shuffling back is the cost. It shuffles it in as cost. So that's really important. Then you got 2 copies of Daedalus. Daedalus, when it's summoned off of a Metaphys monster effect, you can banish all other face-up specially summoned monsters. And then if it's banished during the standby phase in the next turn, you could shuffle this card back into the deck and then banish a different Metaphys monster. Next up is going to be double copies of Metaphys Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon, if it's summoned off a Metaphys monster effect, is unaffected by trap cards. Also, if it attacks a monster, it can make a second attack in a row. And then, if it's banished, it gets shuffled back in, and you can special summon a Metaphys monster from your hand. Lastly is Metaphys Decoy Dragon. Decoy Dragon, its scale or monster effect is when a monster is targeted for an attack, you can target one of your Metaphys monsters that's either banished or in the graveyard, banish this card, and then special summon that monster in attack position. And then during the standby phase, if this card was banned, during the standby phase of the next turn after this card's banished, you are able to special summon it. So it's not super big, it's a pendulum monster, so it's kind of awkward. It's little, but it's really good at just forcing your opponent to do things they don't want to do. And it's a one-of because it works with Ragnarok to make Horus, which lets you mind. So if you have Ragnarok on the field and you can summon this during your turn, you can just go, okay, Horus steals that monster from you. It's just a really good card. Next up for the Metaphys cards is triple Assy Metaphys. Assy Metaphys lets you banish, so you can once per turn you can banish a Metaphys card from your hand, and if you do, draw a card. So it's a draw engine, and it's not a hard once per turn; it's a soft once per turn. And you can activate this more than once. And then Metaphys cards in its owner's possession. If a Metaphys monster is banished in its owner's possession, it gets to apply the following effects. So if it's on your turn, all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except Metaphys monsters, and if it's during your opponent's turn, it changes the battle position of all monsters on the field except Metaphys monsters. Why this is important is that both of those effects are mandatory, so you don't get a choice to do it. The boosting is really important during your turn, or the decrease, because it helps you use Ragnarok offensively. Next up is going to be double copies of Metaphys Factor and 1 copy of Terraforming. Each turn you can normal summon a Metaphys monster level 5 or higher without tributing, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to your Metaphys monster's effects activation. So once this is live, it says your Metaphys cards are unstoppable. You get to do whatever you want, which is crazy. Terraforming just helps you get there. And then the final card is one Metaphys Ascension. You can discard a Metaphys card, draw a card, and then you can banish a Metaphys monster from your deck. If this card is banished, you can add one Metaphys card from your deck to your hand, except Metaphys Ascension, and you can only use one of the effects per turn. So, that is it for the Metaphys cards. Next up, we're going to go to hand traps and supplementary engine stuff, and then the rest of the banished cards, and then we've got the spice at the end. So first up is going to be triple copies of Dimension Shifter. Shifter does not matter. You can shotgun this on your turn, and it really just hurts your opponent moving forward. And you've got triple copies of Necrophase. Necrophase is good because it banishes cards from your graveyard. It banishes the top 5 cards of not only your deck, but your opponent's deck, which can be really funny to do. Basically ripping out all the resources, because not a lot of decks can play out of the banish pile. 2 copies of Granmaju Deiza. Granmaju is important in this deck because you're able to go crazy with it. It's just absolutely insane. Granmaju Deiza is just super strong. Triple copies of Pot of Desires. I run 3 Desires in this deck specifically because you don't care about banishing cards, and it's very stunny in its playstyle generically, so it's it just helps you get to what you need. 1 copy of Gold Sark to be able to get to one of the 2 most important cards in the deck. Into the Void, drawing cards. Upstart Goblin, drawing cards. And then the 2 most important cards in the deck are Defissure and Macrocosmos. That's right, Macrocosmos and Defissure in the main. What? This is really strong against pretty much everything, because most decks can't play around banishment. It's just not something that they can do. That's going to be it for that lineup. Finally, the Spice. Okay, so there's a lot of engines going around for Metaphys. The Nemesis package is something I'm seeing, and the Nemesis cards are really good in the deck, but it's limiting because you have to put in a bunch of stuff. I've seen Metaphys mixed with the Granmaju strategy to be able to banish more cards and have more consistency and draw power. It's an option. But I have found that this engine is actually pretty crazy. 1 copy of Jet Synchron. 1 copy of Quick Draw Synchron. 1 copy of Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. Okay, so these are your tuners, and you're going to run triple tuning. That's right, we are running the Christian Halki-Fibrack combo in this deck. What? You're running it because of 1 line of text on 1 card, because it shuts down like almost every deck. I mean, it's just absolute insanity, and it can turn off so many cards, which is nuts. And these cards just allow you to do stuff that you otherwise would not be able to do. So let's go ahead and get into the extra deck so I can kind of explain it. First up is 1 copy of Metaphase Horus. Like I said, the only way to make this card is with Ragnarok and Decoy Dragon. And it doesn't come up often, but when it does come up, which is in grindier games, this can steal the game because most people don't know that when it's synchro summoned using a pendulum monster, you could choose 1 monster your opponent controls, and you get control of that monster, but it can't attack this turn. Not a big deal, but you get to steal something and use it as link material, getting rid of your opponent's field, which is crazy. Next up is the Synchro Package, so we're going to go through that real fast. Formula Synchron, Martial Metal Marcher, Herald of the Arclight, Borreload Savage Dragon, Link Cross, and Christian Halki-Fibrack, as well as the Link Karibo, and a Relinquished Anima. Okay, so my Synchro Package is a little bigger than some. Link Karibo because it's required to be able to do the 1-card Halki-Fibrack. Link Cross because it's really powerful. Relinquished Anima serves the same purpose as Link Karibo, but if you're going second, this gives you a way to combat your opponent more than just having Dimension Shifter, because you're able to eat their monsters. Okay, so that's it for the Synchro part of it. Now, the Link part of it. So the Synchro part of it, using Formula Synchron, it's just a really cool card to be able to, what was I saying? be able to summon. It doesn't come up all the time, but when it does come up, and being able to synchro summon on your opponent's turn is really crazy. And if they stop you, like they Effect Veiler or Imperm your Christian Halki Fibrax, you can go into this and then just continue your plays on your opponent's turn, making Herald or even Borreload Savage Dragon, which is pretty crazy. Martial Metal Marcher helps you extend, which is important because you're trying to get into Herald. Herald is actually the most important, more important of these two in this specific build, because any monster sent from the hand or the main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. The first line of text on Herald of the Arclight. It doesn't matter in a lot of decks. It matters in this one because it turns so many things off. You want to use a card from your hand? Hand trap? Nope, nope, nope. Hold on. I don't even care. You can hand trap whatever you want, but it's going bye-bye. And then as a quick effect, you contribute this card to negate the activation of a spell or trap card or a monster effect, which is great. So you have a form of negation, but the main thing is that it's on the field, making your opponent play around, sending things from the deck or hand to the graveyard. And then Borreload Savage Dragon just because he's thick. Okay. Next up is just some generic link plays. There's a couple of cards you could substitute out. This is just kind of what I'm rolling with at the moment, but one Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, one Phoenix, one Unicorn. These guys are kind of mandatory just because they're spot removal, which is a problem for the deck. You can also side deck Eater of Millions, and you don't really care then after that. So those three. And then I've got one Apollousa, just because it's pretty easy to summon, and it gives you more interruptions. And with the Christian Halki Fibrax combo, you typically will have a lot of monsters on the field, so this is just a great way to deal with it. Access Code Talker, OTK card. Borreload Dragon can be Borreload Dragon. It could be any Link 4 that you feel is strong. I like Borreload Dragon right now. Sometimes I'll sub it out for, like in some games or some testing, I like Zeraboros better. Right now I'm just kind of playing with Borreload Dragon, but this could be Zeraboros, this could be Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, this could be any Link 4 you want it to be. It's just pretty crazy overall. The versatility of this extra deck is pretty crazy. You could cut Cerberus and still run Zeraboros, and then just run the Phoenix Unicorn. I mean, it really is up to player preference when it comes to what you want to do with these final 6 slots, which is awesome. It's really nice to have that kind of versatility. But that is my Metaphys deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a deck I've been working on a lot in secret for the past little while. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. It, like I said at the beginning, is one of my favorite decks, just because I have so much fun trolling people with Banish.deck. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. And until next time, lads, good fun. Have luck.